We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
The program presented are submitted by members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNLY 91.1 FM and its affiliates.
Today with Cachet. We're here in the Woodlands, Texas, and I am so excited because we're talking all about relationships in so many capacities. But anyway, this morning I want to welcome back the amazing Margarita Coe and Bridget Soletka. I got that now. I love that. By the way, I like that. Now it's like kind of a sexy last name. Okay, I got it down now. So anyway, okay, I got to open it up real quick. My sisters, of all people, said, okay, because this was one of the hottest topics, obviously. People were, chiming into me personally. And my sisters, Cachet, could you shut up a little bit? Because when Margarita was talking about soulmates, she only got one out. We want to know. We want to know about the other aspect of what she said. I said, okay. So sisters, and I know at least one of them are watching, this is for you. So Margarita, I'm sorry, I'm going to ask the question again. When a person is searching on a soulmate, what is your perspective between the clinical and the spiritual?
Okay, so clinically speaking, I think I covered that last week, but just spiritually, I think we all have a season, a reason, or a lifetime for everything, right? And so, yes, I believe there's a soulmate, and that soulmate comes into your life to help you grow spiritually and teach you the lessons that you need to learn to just become a better person or just being. Right? That's kind of my
That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got it.
We got it.
30 minutes. We're moving on. Okay. So today we're going to be talking. We're digging deeper. Obviously, we had first segment last Friday, which was amazing, and we brought everyone back for round 2. So today we're going to be talking about vulnerability and authenticity. Is that correct, ladies? Just in your own words, we talked a little bit about authenticity last week. What's vulnerability kind of like in a relationship, and what do you mean by that?
So to me, that means being able to allow yourself to be open, right? Because we can't participate in relationships if we don't allow ourselves to be open a little bit and possibly get hurt, right? Because we're not going to really be real or be all in that relationship.
If we're not both.
Right. Yeah, because we have to trust that things are going to unfold and we're going to have our needs met and hopefully we meet some of the other person's needs. But that vulnerability piece is like, if we don't allow ourselves to have that and to think, okay, I'm gonna be all in, I'm going to be true to myself, I'm going to be honest.
Right.
But it opens you up, doesn't it, to the possibility of being hurt. And that's always a possibility in every relationship that we have.
Beautiful.
So it's hard.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is that being hurt piece where if I say this, will that person accept me? And a lot of relationships, folks come into therapy saying, I always have this moment where I want to say something and then they stop themselves. And so over the years, that builds up and it builds resentment. And so being authentic in relationships and being vulnerable, that's where you get that intimate relationship where you can thrive and really be happy.
I agree, and I'm glad y'all brought that up because I'm going to admit on air that being vulnerable in a relationship to me is very difficult. Very difficult because I feel like in my own opinion, if I'm being so vulnerable, then I'm opening myself up for potential being hurt.
That's right.
And so,
And it's
and
the
I'm like,
masks
I don't want
that
to touch
we
the
wear.
burner again, right? I've touched
That's
it
right.
once. If you've been burned once, why would I want to open myself up to be
That's
burned
right.
twice? So
That's
to me,
right.
I put logic to it and said, well, I don't want that. But they're going to get 100% authenticity from me. But I don't want, because I will never hurt, in my opinion. I'm going to give
Right.
you 100%, and I'm going
That's
to be
right.
honest, and I'm going to be sincere. But
Right.
I don't know that they're going to be able to be that way. And if I see the signs and the affirmations aren't there, I begin to say, well, I'd be a fool to leave myself
feel
vulnerable.
yourself stepping
I would
back.
be a fool to be vulnerable.
You
and
start
hurt-
to step back, right?
Why would
And
I hurt
it's-
myself?
What
Why?
you're talking about, Cachet, is a learned response.
Okay.
Like when you're talking about touching
You
the
mean,
hot stove.
you mean too many
it's
people have
a-
done things wrong? Is that what y'all are saying?
It's
no,
a learned
men are
response.
perfect.
So we learn to put on more masks and more shells, and we keep that interior life that we have more and more private.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So being able to open that up, it is scary, right? And especially if you've been hurt before.
Yes, that's all it is, guys.
And by the way, this is what the counseling relationship is supposed to teach us, right?
Yeah.
That we learned through that relationship with a therapist, which should be a very safe relationship
Sure.
to explore those interior parts of ourselves and figure out how do we open up
Right.
and become more vulnerable with other people in our lives.
Right. It's so amazing. We're going to take a quick commercial, and when we come back, we're going to dig into some questions and talk deeper into this. We'll be right back.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
It's time to be super again. It's beach season. Killer abs.
For fresh flowers fast, call Barb's Iris Floral at 281-820-2294 with excellent customer service since 1983 for weddings, funeral services, sweet 15s, corporate events, and all occasions. For that special someone you love, barbsirisfloral.com and barbsirisfloralboutique.com. Come on in and pick out of our prestigious gallery at 727 Westmont Houston Road, Houston, Texas 77038. Text 832-466-8414. Barb's Iris Floral delivers fresh flowers fast.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
There's a special place in the Woodlands where you can feel comfortable opening your business. We are located at 10210 Grogan's Mill Road. Our building has a unique Vedic architectural design with landscape grounds and lakeside views, on-site management, and maintenance. We also provide free Wi-Fi and the opportunity to promote your business on 91.1 FM The Boss. This wonderful location is near the Woodlands Mall, Market Street, and just minutes from Bush Intercontinental Airport. 10210 Grogan's Mill Road, the only social media building in the Woodlands. Don't delay. Schedule a tour today by calling 713-777-7368.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
H-Town is the most culturally diverse city in America. H-Town Award's sole mission is to celebrate the great diversity of our city. Our artists, citizens, and philanthropists and businesses are second to none. H-Town is the best city in the world, and our people are the best people on earth. Join us in celebrating all musical genres and the diversity of our beautiful city. H-Town Award Show, November 2019. We'll see you there.
For more information, follow us on social media at H-Town Awards or send us an email at info@htownawards.com.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
We're back with Today with Cachet. I've put myself in the hot seat because I said something during commercial. Y'all know y'all can't leave me at commercial because I'm going to keep talking and get myself in trouble. So, Margarita, what did I say during commercial and Bridget that y'all caught? What did I say?
Well, you said something about when you're in a relationship with someone and they're making you feel this way.
Oh my God! What is
So
that? Yeah.
I'm like, time out, because this happened to me in my clinical training, that my supervisor, I said that once, and she's like, time out, time out. Because one of the greatest gifts we can learn in the process of therapy, I feel, is letting go of this idea that other people make us feel anything.
Okay.
Nobody can make us feel. I bet you're going to get some comments rolling about this. Nobody can make us feel angry, sad.
You mean it was all my fault?
Hurt, right? Other people do what they're going to do,
Right.
right? Because they have free will. They're going to do what they're going to do.
Okay.
But we get to actually decide how we receive that.
Okay.
That's, for me, was a life-changing
Okay.
idea.
Yeah.
That if someone says
one
something
can
horrible
make you
to
do
me,
something.
I could receive that as hurt. I could be, disdainful. I could be outraged. I also could just receive it as, okay.
It's face
that's
value.
So
that's
I
what
have
they
the
think,
power,
right?
is what you're saying. I
Yes.
have the power of how I let what comes to me control how I feel.
You're in charge of your
That's
emotions.
what I got out of that.
You're in
That
charge
is
of
what
your
I got.
emotions.
So the next time someone does something, you in a relationship in any capacity, you have the power of how that comes to you and how you control.
And you have the
that.
power to
Yeah.
reject it,
Yeah.
too. If somebody
Right.
else calls
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
fat or lazy or stupid, you have the power to actually say, I'm not...
I'll be on top of a
I don't
building if they call me fat.
I don't accept that. I don't believe that about myself.
Look at
I
you.
don't... Do you know what I mean?
We've got some comments coming in.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh, my hair's perfect. Okay, thanks.
Always.
But anyway, yeah, we're going to get to some of these comments in a moment. After next commercial, we'll be talking and taking in some questions this morning. But so
Yeah, that's a
back
good
to
one.
your point with vulnerability.
Yes.
As you were saying, and I want to talk less today and let y'all kind of. There's a few questions we had from last week, so
Great.
I'm going to give those to y'all, and y'all can kind of maybe talk through those and how that affects it. One question was, when a couple decides they are not happy with each other, but stay for the kids. You hear this often. I stay for the kids because we got to get them through school, and they don't need to know this, and their friends. It doesn't look right for the community and all that kind of stuff. How can that still be healthy for both the couple, the kids, and the family if they do that? You hear it all the time.
Yep. Okay. So, so I think it really depends on cultural aspects. There's a lot of people in the world who do stay together for the kids because the family unit is made for that. It is your status in society. It is a situation for the kids to be raised, right? And in America, we kind of want it all, which is not a bad thing, but it is. So can it be healthy? Yes, right. If you're showing kids how you properly interact with others and build relationships, marriage isn't always an intimate type relationship. Every person has their own. I have plenty of folks who come in and they don't have any intimate contact or any intimate relationships, and it is literally
A friendship.
It
Or
is
buddy system.
yeah, you just
Like
live
co-parenting.
together. Absolutely, it's
Yeah.
co-parenting. That's perfect, Bridget. You live together, you raise the kids, you have a life, you have friends, you have work, so you have all these other aspects. It's just you don't have that intimate part, and so it is healthy because the kids are stable, you're stable, you can fulfill your own destiny and your own desires, and that's pretty.
But
healthy.
some people aren't able to fulfill their own needs in a situation like that.
Right, because
That's where it
somebody's going
becomes
to be
unhealthy.
now I'm going to
Unhealthy.
step in and be silly, but real. Somebody's going to be stepping out doing something if they're looking for intimacy. And that could bleed into that perfect situation.
Right.
Correct.
But that's where it
Yeah.
is. That's where the healthy comes in.
Okay.
Right. If you're
Yeah.
building this make believe, we're
Yeah.
a great family, and
Sure.
we're only monogamous, and we're living in this home, and you're building a picture, but you're not getting your needs met. The healthy part comes in with communication. Of okay, this is not working. We have children, we love them, and we love each other, but it's just not working. And so here are my needs, and here are your needs, and how do we make these needs work without hurting each other, with allowing each other to grow? Do you have anything on that? That's kind of a...
Yeah, and I think I think the cultural aspect that you brought up is really important because for some families this is a religious issue also,
Very much.
right? That they feel that they've made this,
and you can never
marriage.
separate. You can never
That's
be
right.
apart. You've done it once, that's it.
So, and our job as therapists isn't to impose our values on people. Our job is to work within their value system. So, if someone's, I'm not a couples therapist, but Margarita is. Someone comes into couples therapy saying divorce is not an option.
Yep.
we
All the time.
need to
Yeah.
figure this out some way, somehow, then we have to respect that.
Got it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Interesting.
Also,
Interesting.
when couples come in and they are like monogamy is not an option. I have plenty of families who come in and they're just like, this is just not something that's going to work for us.
Right.
And
That's a
that's
good
what
point.
we do. We sit there and we figure it out. How do you respect every person?
So what I'm hearing also is the worst thing you can do is have the problem and don't seek help.
Yes.
Especially when you have a family and you're trying
That's
to
right.
get through that, get some help. Because what you're going through, there's a solution is what they're saying. There's an answer. You just got to go find them. And there's, two ladies actually here in the Woodlands that are sitting in my studio that y'all can call. And we'll have their numbers up on the screen shortly. So the next question that we had, and then we'll probably take a commercial after this, but was, what are some true indicators? Okay, now you're in the relationship. We always say, find yourself, find each person, work through everything. But what about when it's really trying to move on? And what are some of those things that can show you it's time to move on? Yeah.
Well, abuse comes
Bingo.
just
Yep.
straight. I mean,
Okay.
that's a big red flag,
All
right?
types of abuse.
All types of abuse. Yeah. I mean, that to me, when a client comes in and they're suffering some kind of emotional, verbal, sexual abuse, physical abuse, that for us is a big red flag to try to help that person navigate safely out of that relationship.
Right. Yep. And then the other one is if a person, if you've sat down and you've kind of communicated your needs and a person blatantly disregards you. I mean, it kind of borders on that abuse, right? And how much do we take? How much is it worth to us? And what are we missing by not taking the leap and saying, I've had enough? If you cannot be yourself in a relationship and that person does not accept you, you gotta go.
Well, and it takes two people to be in a
Yes.
relationship, right?
Right.
So a lot of times I'm an individual therapist, so I might have, say, a wife or, say, the wife coming in saying, I want to fix this, I want to grow and change. Well, if the other person
Yes.
isn't all in and trying to fix themselves
The
and growing and
scale isn't
changing, then,
balanced.
right.
Yeah, you'll
and that's
never
the
get
same
there.
in all, not just
Yeah.
love relationships, that's true
Working
of sibling,
relationships.
work relationships. We need people can change, right? We wouldn't be in this business if we didn't believe people could change.
Yes.
People often
They have to want to.
don't change, though.
Yeah, that's
right?
the
That's
big
an
one.
it's
Yeah.
an active process of
Yeah.
wanting something to be different. And in a couple's relationship and marriage, we need both people to be working.
And
on
I think
that.
so many people think they can change somebody. And if you haven't learned that yet, I
You
don't need a
can't change
counselor to tell me
somebody.
that. You do not change someone. They have to want it. And if
Right.
they want it, then that's the beginning of the healing.
That's
I have
right.
one more question I have to throw out because this is a really good one before we go to commercial. Let's say you are in a marriage, you're 2 years in, or you're, and this is the love of your life, and you're having some issues, or whatever the case may be, and you go to counseling. And then when you start to self-heal, this one's healing, you realize this wasn't the right situation for me. How do you handle something like that? I mean, I know that's complex. But I mean, it's not so much how do you handle it, because there's a long process of how you handle it. Can that happen? And
sure.
when that happens, is it okay to realize that after you've self-healed and potentially look at ways to get out of it?
Yeah,
That would be a better
That
thing to
can
say.
absolutely happen. It has happened.
For sure.
It does happen.
It's common, actually.
It's actually
I
pretty.
think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really, again, that cultural piece comes in of if you're in a marriage where you do not believe in divorce, how do we navigate that?
You would go to that, like we talked about, co-parenting,
Yeah.
co-living
Right.
type
Yeah.
things. Oh, interesting.
And-
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. We'll go to commercial because we have to. Otherwise, I'd keep talking. And then when we come back, we're going to take some callers, or not so much callers, but people that are actually texting in some questions. So we'll be right back.
Great.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
It's time to be super again. It's beach season.
fresh flowers fast. Call Barb's Iris Floral at 281-820-2294 with excellent customer service since 1983 for weddings, funeral services, sweet 15s, corporate events, and all occasions. For that special someone you love, barbsirisfloral.com and barbsirisfloralboutique.com. Come on in and pick out of our prestigious gallery at 727 Westmont Houston Road, Houston, Texas 77038. Text 832-466-8414. Barb's Iris Floral delivers fresh flowers fast.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
There's a special place in the Woodlands where you can feel comfortable opening your business. We are located at 10210 Grogan's Mill Road. Our building has a unique Vedic architectural design with landscape grounds and lakeside views, on-site management, and maintenance. We also provide free Wi-Fi and the opportunity to promote your business on 91.1 FM The Boss. This wonderful location is near the Woodlands Mall, Market Street, and just minutes from Bush Intercontinental Airport. 10210 Grogan's Mill Road, the only social media building in the Woodlands. Don't delay. Schedule a tour today by calling 713-777-7368.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
H-Town is the most culturally diverse city in America. H-Town Award's sole mission is to celebrate the great diversity of our city. Our artists, citizens, and philanthropists and businesses are second to none. H-Town is the best city in the world, and our people are the best people on earth. Join us in celebrating all musical genres and the diversity of our beautiful city. H-Town Award Show, November 2019. We'll see you there.
For more information, follow us on social media at H-Town Awards or send us an email at info@htownawards.com.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Welcome back to Today with Cachet. We're talking hot topic relationships, and we've got Margarita and Bridget in the studio this morning, and I'm going to open it up for some questions that people have texted in. And here's one. Let's see. Can you ladies... let's see. Let me go. Okay.
Secure attachment.
So Linda Smith had chimed in, and we know Linda. Hello, you know Linda. Otherwise, I'd keep talking. Oh my God. I'm trying. So I can't. Let's see. It was about friendships. I want to cut this off here. So.
Oh, I saw the friendship one.
Okay.
Let's do this one first.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. You talked a little bit about that last week.
Talk about how to secure. Yeah. So, okay. So if you have an insecure attachment as a child, essentially that means your interactions with your primary caretakers was either avoidant or anxious. That means how your parents had reacted to you in certain situations, right, across your lifespan.
Okay.
So as an adult, the best way to develop a secure attachment is really go to therapy and explore what comes up for you and when you are being avoidant or anxious or maybe even disorganized. And the other thing is, if you're in a relationship with somebody who's actually securely attached, that is the best way to move you towards secure attachment, because their responses to you will be so secure and level that once you bounce yourself off of them, you will change. Your neurons will essentially start mirroring theirs, hopefully, and they'll move that way. Do you have
love that. Yeah, no, the mirroring neurons. And but the hard thing, though, is that if you've had an unsecure and unhealthy attachment, is being, I think, sometimes attracted to a person, right? Because it's so different from what you're used to.
Yeah.
But if you can find that person who has those healthy responses, other people's behavior tend to bring our behavior into check, right?
Sure.
You know how when you're out with a group of girlfriends, right? If it's like if it's your wild, crazy, fun girlfriends, like it kind of brings that out in you. If you're with the more sedate, crowd, librarians or something, right? So,
that's why people are comfortable hanging with people that are more like them.
Yes,
that's
because they don't want to feel like they're being judged by somebody because I'm drinking more drinks than you're drinking, that kind of thing.
But if we're in a relationship and somebody spills their coffee and I start, freaking out and I'm angry and upset, right? And that person reacts the same way back to me, right? Then you see how that builds.
And it heightens,
right?
Right.
If I do that, and so my husband definitely brings me down to earth all the time. Like if I have like an emotional reaction like that, he'll be like, okay, Bridget, bring it.
Very calm.
It's okay.
He
Calm
knows
down.
He knows
He knows it, right?
And he's helping you.
So we do. So that's a great point, right? Is finding your way into relationships, not just love relationships, but friendships and other types of relationships that are mirroring that we can mirror those responses back.
So yeah,
And so that-
essentially, if you know where you want to be, if you know what secure attachment looks like for you, and you know what it is that you're envisioning, find the folks that exhibit that, and then they will kind of rein you in and
It's true.
kind of help you restructure and get to that secure attachment.
Awesome. I have another question. And yes, everyone, next Friday we're going to do an hour show, okay? Because I know we're about to go off and there's just not enough time. So this question came in from a friend of mine. I'm not going to say names. I think that's best. When you're first starting a relationship, what can you do to help you see through the mask that the person or people are wearing that got you hooked? Then as a relationship develops, you see the person that you didn't see. How do you help, do that? I guess is what they're asking.
So, okay, we do this in therapy because we have people come in and they're wearing all of those masks, right? So the best way to see through someone else's masks is to exhibit that vulnerability and start to show some of your own.
So this is a person who's probably like me, who doesn't want to be too vulnerable.
And I'm more of an existential-oriented, therapist, but that's what my answer would be, is that if you want to get to the core of another person and see through all of that,
yourself out there.
You have to do it yourself.
Because
you're modeling that. And this is why therapy is so great, because you can just come in and lay it all out there,
that's
right?
That's a hard one for me.
Part of that is also when a person shows you who they are, believe them.
Oprah said that,
oh my God, I had a comment on that one.
Or was it
my God, not just believe them, walk away from them.
I think Oprah
and
said
don't go
that.
back.
Well, believe them the first time.
And don't go back.
Show you.
Yes, but people always are trying to oh no, that's okay, and pacifying it or giving excuses.
That is such a good one.
But
that is such a good one.
Thank you.
And don't go back. If you, it's like, okay, it's so funny. Someone breaks into your house and you got out the robbers in there. Do you go back to get your red bottoms? Do you go back to get your purse? No, you run as far as you can. We need to start doing that with our relationship. But I like the way you did this, or this was so good. Get away.
We also
I know
believe
that's
there's
hard. That's hard.
But one of the, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, there's always this scarcity mentality of there's not going to be another one. And so what are you really saying?
Or that was my soulmate.
Right, that was my soul.
That was my chaotic self.
Yes. What were you going to say, Bridget?
I forget. No,
I'm sorry.
No. I think that one of the tasks that we have in therapy is identifying patterns. Okay. This is one of the beautiful things that we can identify. Oh, I used to be with that person that, kept lying to me, but I kept believing that, he or she would change. And then, my next boyfriend or girlfriend did the same thing, right? So this is one of the things that we're always listening for, is the pattern of
what
how.
What is the story? Yes.
What's the story? What's happening? That person did show you a number of times who they were. You persisted in that relationship, and actually you brought that pattern into the next relationship.
Awesome. And I want to, since we have 2 minutes left, again, can we just, if people are listening and they want to reach out to you, go ahead and tell them both how they can get in contact with you, and then next week we're going to do an hour, okay?
Okay, so the easiest way to get in touch with me is to go to my website. It's www.margaritakogan.com. And Bridget?
And my website is www.forgemypath, Forge, mypath.com.
Yeah, and I think in summary today we've learned that with vulnerability, you have to do it. You have to put yourself out there, no matter what you're going through. Is that, no matter what you've experienced.
Depending
it's
on
risky,
where you are, it's
right?
risky, right? It could send you
Can
into
backfire.
Yes.
Yeah.
It could definitely backfire, and we could definitely touch on it next week.
Sure.
But if you are in a very vulnerable place yourself and emotionally are struggling, putting yourself out there, right, not being
In
able
some form.
it might be a little more
That can be hard.
difficult and challenging. Yeah.
Yeah, the idea is to have yourself in an emotionally healthy, stable place so that you can be more vulnerable, because the thing is, there is a risk of getting hurt, right, or disappointed, or all of those things. So we don't want to take people who are already in a really vulnerable spot
And fragile, yes.
Right.
fragile and do that, right?
Yeah.
So
You don't want to crush yourself, right? You
Right.
want to grow, but
Right.
if you're just not in a place to grow, maybe a relationship's not the best thing at that time.
So yeah, sometimes it's okay to be by yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Being by yourself is healthy, and figuring out what it is that really works, and when it comes along, you'll know it.
Yeah.
If you're healed and you're ready to go. And with these ladies, you will be. All right. So anyway, great show today. Happy Friday, everyone. I've got my fix for the day. So anyway, we'll see you next week. And next Friday, we certainly will be an hour. So make sure and tune in. We'll see you. Have a great weekend. Bye. Everyone.
Bye.